From the streets to the grave. The story of a ruthless thief. The streets have a way of swallowing dreams and spitting out nightmares. For Jamal, a young man with a bright future, the allure of quick money and respect led him down a path of destruction. What began as a way to fit in turned into a life of crime, violence, and ultimately, tragedy. This is the story of how a promising life was cut short by the very streets that promised him everything. The early years. Jamal grew up in a rough neighborhood where opportunities were scarce, but trouble was always around the corner. As a kid, he was smart and full of potential. His teachers saw his talent and encouraged him to stay focused on school. But the streets had a different plan for Jamal. By the time he was a teenager, the pressure to fit in was overwhelming. His friends were making easy money through petty theft and drug deals, and Jamal wanted in. At first, it was just small-time stuff, stealing from stores, selling stolen goods. But the more he got involved, the deeper he sank. The rise of a ruthless thief. Jamal quickly rose through the ranks. He was smart, fearless, and willing to do whatever it took to earn respect. What started as petty crimes escalated into armed robberies, drug trafficking, and even violence. He became known on the streets as someone not to be crossed, a ruthless thief who would do anything to protect his reputation. But with every step up the ladder, Jamal's soul grew darker. The money and power came at a cost. He distanced himself from his family, lost touch with old friends, and became consumed by the lifestyle. The boy who once dreamed of a better life was now a man, trapped in a cycle of crime and violence. The turning point. Despite his success on the streets, Jamal couldn't escape the gnawing feeling that something was missing. Deep down, he knew this life wouldn't end well. He had seen too many friends fall, some to prison, others to the grave. But every time he thought about leaving, the streets pulled him back in. One night, after a particularly close call with the police, Jamal had a moment of clarity. He thought about his mother, who had begged him to change his ways. He thought about the life he could have had if he had stayed on the right path. But before he could make a decision, fate intervened. The ambush. Jamal's reputation as a ruthless thief made him enemies. Rival gangs saw him as a threat, and they were determined to take him down. One evening, as Jamal was walking home, he was ambushed. Gunfire erupted, and before he could react, he was hit. He collapsed on the pavement, his life slipping away. As he lay there, bleeding and alone, Jamal's mind raced. He thought about the choices he had made, the people he had hurt, and the life he had wasted. In his final moments, he whispered a prayer, a plea for forgiveness, for a second chance that would never come. The aftermath. Jamal's death sent shockwaves through the community. To some, he was a cautionary tale, reminder of the dangers of the streets. To others, he was a fallen soldier, the victim of the environment that shaped him. But to his mother, he was simply her son, a boy who had lost his way and paid the ultimate price. In the wake of his death, his mother started a foundation to help at-risk youth. She shared Jamal's story, hoping to prevent other young people from making the same mistakes. She turned her pain into purpose, determined to make a difference in the community that had taken so much from her. Conclusion. Jamal's story is a tragic reminder of the destructive power of the streets and the high cost of a life of crime. It's a story of wasted potential, broken dreams. But it's also a story of hope, a mother's love, a community's resilience, and the belief that even in the darkest moments, change is possible. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Galatians 6-7.